Hello, friends and colleagues. This is Dr. Sarita Jackson, President and CEO of the Global Research Institute of International Trade. I'd like to present a good friend of mine and colleague, Ms. Laura Hurtado. Ms. Hurtado works for a global outsourcing company, and she is joining us directly from Mexico. And she also has experience when it comes to helping companies that are interested in exporting to Mexico or even exporting from Mexico. She's going to share with us and discuss the environment in Mexico, particularly for businesses and from the perspective of different industries. Welcome, Laura.
Thank you very much for inviting me. It is a pleasure to be with you.
You're welcome. And before we even get started, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, thank you. Very hot over here.
Well, great. So we're going to go ahead, get started with our interview. And well, the first question pertains to everything that is going on today with the COVID-19 or the coronavirus that has had an impact on a number of businesses and just on the global economy in general. So Laura, if you could share with us, have the businesses in Mexico been affected, and if so, how?
Yeah, the main sector are being affected are those medium and small size companies, which they don't have the possibilities to provide their employees the opportunity to work from home. So then, however, the large companies have not been affected at all because they are having the infrastructure to provide to their employees the opportunity to work from home. Besides, we cannot forget those companies that they need to keep producing. And for this reason, they need to the employees still assist to their company to keep working. So we have many perspectives here.
Interesting. So thank you. So just from what you've just shared, that there is a difference when we look at the size of the companies.
Right.
And that the medium-sized companies are finding it more difficult to allow their workers to work from home, whereas the larger companies have the infrastructure to do so. Well, my next question is, well, how is the Mexican government responding to this global health pandemic from both the state and the national levels?
Okay, for national, Mexican president, it provides many speeches. In some speeches, he's saying that we have to take care of ourselves. So that means that we have to keep ourselves healthy, but we also, as well, we have to keep working. So he's not providing all the main reason of that, but it's logical. We can have the perspective that our president doesn't want to stop the economy in Mexico. So that is the reason. Also, I want to comment to you that he was decreasing the price of gasoline here. So for that, the population keep getting out and go to work and go many other kind of the daily things of any people in this nation. So as a result of this, the governors here, of course, are following up this instruction from the president. So we have to be very careful about ourselves, but we also keep working as well.
Great. Well, thank you so much for that information. Slightly different than here in the United States, where many of us are under stay-at-home order, where regardless of, and many companies have had to, are really facing difficult times where their workers are staying at home. So thank you for that. Now turning our attention to exports, and we will focus on those sectors, two sectors, the construction and the furniture industries, both of which you are very familiar, correct?
Correct.
Well, based on your knowledge of those two industries, what is the percentage of sales that represent the exports within the companies of which you're familiar within these two sectors?
Yeah, sure. The percent in construction sector are 46%, and in furniture sector it means the 100%, because they are exporting to United States directly. So that's why it's the 100% here in furniture sector.
Great. So interestingly enough, regardless of what's going on, that with at least the company which you're familiar in the furniture sector still sees the same numbers in terms of its exports and generating sales through its exports to the United States. Great. Well, one of the things, speaking of the economy and different reform measures, one time we were speaking, and during our conversation, the issue of the automobile industry came up. And the automobile industry is one of the main industries that has benefited from the trade agreement between the United States, Mexico, and Canada. And if you could share with us, what is the perspective from your colleagues about the actual state of the automobile industry?
Yeah, the perspective that my colleagues are shared to me is that the automobile industry has been affected because some of the automotive parts comes from Europe and Asia. For this reason, they were not producing the same amounts as in previous years. So that means that also their sales are decreasing. So my colleagues are very confusing in this situation because they don't know how this industry is going to respond to them as employees. You know, they don't know if they are going to be quit, or if they are going to still having that job for maybe this year. I don't know. So they are very confusing and they are a little frustrated about it.
So in this particular case with the automobile industry, that the supply chain has been negatively affected as a result of the coronavirus. Well, getting toward the end of our interview, a lot of the information very brief and basic, yet very helpful to our viewers. So the last question that I would like to ask is, based on your experience in the area of exports, could you discuss the importance of research prior to even starting to export or import?
Yes, it will be a pleasure. So it doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur or how old is your company, it is important to companies to stay abreast of new information through research so that your business can succeed. So it is I recommend to everyone that are looking to us right now. So please be very informative nowadays.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, that's the key takeaway, that before you start importing or exporting, just getting involved in international trade, that it is very important to do your research first.
Right.
So I would like to thank Ms. Laura Hurtado again for taking time out of her schedule to share some basic insight with us today. Thank you so much, Laura.
It's a pleasure, Sheila. It's an honor to be with you in this interview.
And thanks to everyone for watching. Please follow the GRIT YouTube channel. Go ahead, click like, subscribe, and share this information with others who really could benefit. And if you need any assistance with doing research or developing a strategy for importing or exporting with Mexico, please reach out to our team here at grit@grit.org, GRIIT @grit.org. Thanks again and goodbye.
Bye.